What's up, Snoopers? What up, what up? Snoopers, what's good? What's good? How y'all doing today? We gonna talk about some stuff today. I've been waiting to do a live stream so we can get some of this, because there's been a lot of crazy stuff to come out, man. I can't even front. Let's see, who's in here? Louise, what's happening? Uh-oh. I have to fix these comments. Give me a second here. There we go. Get some of these comments in here. There we go. What's up, everybody? Everybody doing all right today? Jose. Had surgery on your left eye. Hope all is well. Let's see who else I got in here. Said or SCEDEP. What's good? We're going to talk about some stuff today, man. I got some crazy news. And I know a lot of people kind of maybe already know this stuff, but for some reason, people are freaking out over it. But we're going to talk about... there's a Sony Spider-Man. There's some Sony Spider-Man information that's came down. And also, we were talking today in the Geeky chat, and I want to get your all's opinion on some things that's going on with the Sony Spiderverse and stuff like that. We're also going to talk this Michael Jackson biopic. I'm going to try to be nice about it, but I have a lot to say about this biopic. I know a lot of fans out there are excited for this and different stuff like that, but I got some things to say about it. For sure. Oscar, what's good, man? What's good? We're also going to talk about Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan, the latest chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga has came out, and there's been a lot of talk about that stuff. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to also talk about a little bit of Rebel Moon, a little bit of Echo, and then we're going to talk about this J.J. Abrams Black Superman movie that's in development. All right, so how long have I been on here? 3 minutes. I want to wait maybe 5 minutes to wait till we get to 5 minutes, get some people on here commenting. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for me. You dig? We really appreciate all the likes and the love. It keeps us, in that YouTube algorithm thing that they have. I don't necessarily care about it, but we're going to talk about some stuff today. It's good to see everybody. Hope everybody's been doing all right. Talk about comic book. Was talking about Gohan Beast. You're curious what I think about it? Well, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so I feel a way about the Beast Gohan stuff. But I might feel differently than you think. But we're going to get into it. Again, I appreciate if you're just now in. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. I'm going to try to do more live streams and stuff like this. And if I can get White Gold here to do some more live stream stuff, we're going to do that too. You know what I'm saying? She has a life on other than YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? So I actually like YouTube as a full-time job. But all right, so we're about 4.5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and start. So for people again who are just entering the live stream, we're gonna talk about some of the Sony Spiderverse stuff that has been going down, and we're gonna talk about the Michael Jackson biopic that comes out 2025. We're gonna talk about Beast Gohan, a little bit of Rebel Moon, a little bit of Echo. And we're also going to talk about J.J. Abrams' Black Superman movie. So, I'm Fireworks for people who don't know, who are new here. If you're not new here, family, what's good? Hope everybody's healthy, everybody's doing good. But it's been a long time, or a little while since I've had a live stream. think I did one earlier this year, but I got another one here. But we're going to talk about the Sony stuff. So apparently there was some information that dropped this week about Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and the Madam Web situation. Excuse me. And apparently for Madam Web, originally Andrew Garfield was going to be the Spider-Man that they tied in initially, and then they moved to set it where they set it in the timeline, so it ends up being Tom Holland's Spider-Man that is, I guess, the one that they are gonna hint at or whatever. I don't want to say spoilers because I don't feel like I'm spoiling you. When it comes to Madam Web, I feel like most people would assume they would reference a Spider-Man or some type of spider person. But if I did spoil you, I'm sorry. What's good, Bryson? So I wanted to see how you all felt. I mean, from my perspective, Andrew Garfield. Well, let me try to bring this all together. Today we were talking in the Geeky Chat about the Sonyverse and the way that they're going about it. Certain movies that they have, certain movies that they have coming, you know, doing everything and stuff like that. So to me, this is how I've always felt about it. Now, I think that what happened is that when Marvel needed a Spider-Man, they approached Sony because Sony owns the rights. Okay. And Marvel was probably like, we want to have our own Spider-Man. Sony was probably like, well, we want to maybe use Andrew Garfield. And I guarantee you that Sony probably tried to use Andrew Garfield, but that ship had sailed at the time. Because, you know, there are just some bad things. Like Spider-Man 1 is not necessarily bad, but it ain't great either. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is more of a better film. I don't think it's the greatest film, but I think that the emotional stuff that they added and they got off and the connection and stuff like that was supreme in that movie. Also, Electro, some of this VFX that they did was very supreme as well. But I think that originally Andrew Garfield should have been the Spider-Man that continued on. Now, you know, maybe back then they didn't want to do multiverse, whatever the case may be, but I think that the ship had sailed with Andrew Garfield. Hence is why we got Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Now, I know, remember when Tom Holland Spider-Man popped up, everybody felt some type of way about Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's what they always do when they switch a character. They did the same thing with Pattinson. Then when we got to see Pattinson, everybody was like, oh my God, Pattinson. But so I think that from the very beginning that Andrew Garfield, if I was doing this, should have been the Spider-Man to continue everything. But since you added Tom Holland, I feel like that if Sony owned the rights, which they did, and they were going to play ball with Marvel, then I feel like if they were going to do a Spider-Man in their universe, it should be Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland should be the MCU's Spider-Man. And I feel like that is not too difficult to defer for fans. But what's happened is that there's no Andrew Garfield over there, and the MCU Spider-Man has prevailed. Maybe not in his own films, but Spider-Man in the MCU still is a fan favorite for other things and movies and such and you know, and so on. So Sony's like, damn. Hence is why we have a Miles Morales. You know, Sony of course has, you know, they do the game and other stuff like that, but as far as cinematically, they ended up with Miles Morales, but unfortunately, it's not live action. It's not that, like, you can run with that to a certain degree, but like I said from the very beginning with the Spiderverse stuff, I feel like the third movie needs to be live action. If Sony was trying to get away from the bad talk, they would literally cast every single live action Spider person that they can, get them in costume, do everything that they need to do, and do it. Third Spider-Verse movie, live action, and then you go from a live action, or you go from an animated Miles Morales to a live action Miles Morales. That's my option for them at this point. But I think that Andrew Garfield should have been the third film. The TASM 3 should have been Tom Hardy's Venom being his villain. Then you can come out and say, okay, I got Morbius. And then if Marvel wants to play ball, since, you know, you all, Sony let us use a Spider-Man live action for the MCU, then you bring Vulture over. And then everything makes sense when you do it like that. But even the Madam Web, which was what we originally started talking about, even the Madam Web situation makes sense because Andrew Garfield would have been the Sony Spider-Man all the way. And then if you want to bring in Miles Morales, then you bring in Miles Morales and you have Andrew Garfield and Miles Morales and you do what they do in the game and you go on. But you see how easy it is for me to get this creatively, you know, ready to go. It's almost like they're in a deer in headlights. And I feel like that Sony is doing is basically pissed because Marvel prevailed with Spider-Man and they can't do anything really because Andrew Garfield, the ship has sailed. Tobey's old. They don't want to start a new Spider-Man. They don't want to do that all over again. So they're going to go around and they're building again. We've talked about this before on the channel, but they're building a Spider-Verse without the Spider-Verse. Or the Spider-Man. More so, I guess. Which I think is ridiculous. Even though I'm someone who likes Morbius, I just feel like it's cut. There's like 30 minutes missing. It's cut like a MCU Disney Plus finale for some reason. It jumps. There's some exposition missing from that film that I feel like was there that they just cut. I'm excited about Kraven. You know, and I'm actually excited to see them do like a real live Sinister Six, you know. But I also feel like there needs to be a Spider-Man there. I feel like, okay, cool. We do a Sinister Six, you know, we do solo movies, right? And then we bring them together to fight who? Us? You know what I'm saying? Who they going? The police? Who they gonna fight? Let's see. Let me read some of y'all's comments. When you upload a new reaction to a movie, what would be the next movie they would watch? What's the next movie that we got coming up on the channel? I think it's Toy Story 2. I think. What up, Bryson? No, I haven't checked out the Avatar stuff. Because I'm not necessarily a big Avatar person, but down the road I eventually will get into it. We still need a TASM 3, agreed. Or continue TASM in the Venomverse, agreed. They literally put themselves in their own universe, yeah. And now they don't know how to get out, so they're just making all these movies, agreed. By Charles Bronson. Okay. Yeah, it's like that. But the thing about it is, bro, is they're missing a Spider-Man. Like, if like Sony could get away with doing these movies if there was a Spider-Man involved. Like, instead of Spider-Man going through his life and then in his third movie fighting the Sinister Six. You know, how about they can still do these Sinister Six solo movies to bring them together, and then you unveil a Spider-Man. You know, whether that be Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland or Miles Morales or whatever the case may be. But I think that that's how it should go as of now. Because, you know, you've already, and then you set up a Madam Web movie, and, you know, Madam Web has to connect to a Spider-Man. Like, that has to go down. You see what I'm saying? The thing that's missing is a Spider-Man. You can even, like, one of these Sinister Six movies could post-credit scene a spider person. So that way, maybe, Madam Web could see that post-credit scene and we still not know who the Spider-Person is until it's Sinister Six versus Spider-Man or whatever the case may be, which I still think would be dope because Marvel is using a live-action Spider-Man in its own continuity. To not include, you can do hell, they do it all the time with villains. They one-shot villains. Why not one-shot Spider-Man? Why not one movie, cast a Spider-Man to go against the Sinister Six? Why not? It's better than no Spider-Man at all and just doing a bunch of movies to put them together to fight nobody in the end. That's why I'm so glad they got rid of El Muerto. You talk about a movie that was unnecessary. Good Lord, that was gonna flop. Shoo. T Wolf, does white girl gold braid your hair? Yeah, she does. But yeah, I definitely think that, again, Sony, you have your options either. And you don't have to, your third movie don't necessarily have to be, your third Miles Morales movie don't necessarily have to be live action. But as long as you convert him live action at the end of that, so that way, maybe, Miles Morales can go against the Sinister Six. I'll take that. And then if they convert it correctly, we're looking at something completely different here. Everything that I'm saying could be reversed, like a magic trick. But will it happen? There's rumors of Sony doing a Doc Ock solo film. There's rumors of Sony, which I'm actually really surprised. There's, I think Mysterio was another one. So I'm interested to, I'm still here for the solo movies because I'm fans of the characters. But eventually, I feel like all of us feel this way. We're going to want a Spider-Man there to fight. Like, they're not going to fight the police. I don't want to see the Sinister Six versus the NYPD. I don't want to see that. Yeah, they should at least cast him, but I don't know about doing a movie for him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that as of now is too confusing. I feel like in the beginning, if you had Andrew at Sony and you had Tom at Marvel, nothing would have mattered and everything would have been okay, because when you did No Way Home, it makes sense. It makes total sense. See what I'm saying? It's crazy how they fumbled the bag, and the domino effect is so long that it's messed them up all the way to here. Like, when did TASM 2 come out? What year did TASM, like 2014? 2016, 2015? I feel like it came out around that time. 2014. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's lasted 10, that bad move that they decided, somewhere in there has lasted them this long. And for us, like I said, I don't think that Tom Holland's movies are extraordinary, with the exception of No Way Home. But I don't blame him for that. But at the same time, what he's done in other films and who he's connected to and stuff like that, they did a good job. And they didn't even give us an origin story. That's why I feel like Tom Holland's Spidey goes underrated. If I'm gonna rate my Spideys, for people who are gonna ask me, I'm Tobey's number one. I don't think anybody's better than Tobey. Then I'll go Tom, and then I'll go Andrew Garfield, because the TASM 2 performance is just outstanding. His range in that movie, and the chemistry between him and Emma Stone is almost once in a lifetime chemistry for the type of movie that it was supposed to be. That's and I'm gonna be real. That's the chemistry that they wanted Tobey and Kristen Dunst to have. It was that era, and they did kind of rely on some, like, small sexual tension. But that's the chemistry that they wanted. And Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man got it off more than, but those VHSs on your dresser, yes. Standalone universes, watching all the different Spider-Man and Spider-Women can get in live action. Well, I think for Sony, okay, well, I'll put it like this. If I'm Sony right now, I am going to eventually convert Miles Morales and maybe some other Spider people to do maybe shows, maybe movies to, connect the universe or something, maybe. And maybe even some still animated, depending on how my third movie went. So that way, eventually you can make sense of the Sinister Six stuff that you're doing for your universe. Because again, even with Secret Wars, it makes no sense. And then if you do Battle World, maybe it does, because then maybe you have some of these villains, left over or something. But I'm gonna just be real. That's why I don't care about Marvel killing off the MCU killing off villains, because when it comes down to it, what is Dar-Benn gonna do to Kang? Bangle or no bangle? You know what I mean? Like, what is Gore the God Butcher gonna do against a Kang or a Doom? Not a damn thing. So get him out of here. If you read Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, he ripped King Thanos' skeleton right out of his body. And Iron Man punched him in the face and got a little drop of blood. If you think that that's something, bruh, get him out of here. I don't want to see none of these villains down the road because it makes no sense. Get them out of here, But now, Sony doing villains. So they're going to have to be here. So you're going to have to get yourself a Spider-Man. And maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they just ain't told us yet. Maybe Beyond the Spider-Verse continues in live action or something. I don't know. But, I saw a video of how Sony had a whole plan for the universe back in 2015. They were going to do Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4 and Venom and like a Black Cat movie and then oh man. They were going to do a whole universe. That's awesome. That's awesome. What up, Shaggy? Wow. They missed. I mean, and I'm going to be real with you too. I think that anybody that was doing superhero movies other than Zack Snyder, because he ain't no punk, they were intimidated by Infinity War and Endgame. You know what I mean? Like, as good as Infinity War and Endgame are, if I'm not the director directing those two movies, and then I have to direct a movie like that, and then right around the time that I have to do it, like, it would be intimidating. You know what I mean? It would be intimidating. And it's why a lot of other comic book movies around that time didn't necessarily pan out so well. And why a lot of the reason why people are upset about the MCU right now, in all reality, we all can feel a different way, but let's be real. What the MCU attained with Infinity War and Endgame wasn't sustainable. That level of, you can't sustain it. I don't care. No company could have sustained it. Sam Raimi did 3 Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 1 or 2 are awesome. 3 is... Zack Snyder did... Man of Steel and all these different ones, but like, there is no Flash or Cyborg movie, or you know what I'm saying? There are movies that are good, but not all his movies are good. You know what I'm saying? Who else is somebody that's look at Christopher Nolan. Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, or Dark Knight and then Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises is the lesser. You can't sustain that level. It's very rare. And normally, if it does get sustained, some time has passed and it has, shelved to become a classic, and its replay value gives it that level. You know what I'm saying? So I be telling people that all the time, that's why I kind of take in all the MCU stuff. And at first, when I'm watching it, yeah, it's dope. But if you ask me the shows, that I went back and watched, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, I have, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, I have, WandaVision definitely, and then Loki, of course. And then I love What If. We're probably gonna do What If and do some Phase 4 stuff down the road this year, because I want to keep up to date the Marvel stuff. Y'all made us go through all that Marvel movies, so I want to keep all the movies and stuff up to date. Plus, White Gold hasn't seen Black Widow and Shang-Chi and some of these other movies. What If Season 2 and Eternals. We're going to watch some of those movies on the channel and see how they feel now and stuff like that for her, and, But let me get to some of your comments here. Iron Man didn't say, yeah, because he's a human. DC messed up because they rushed their project instead of doing solo movies for characters like Batman, Flash, and others. They jumped straight into a Justice League movie. I don't have a problem with the movies that Zack Snyder touched, me personally. I do think that that Man of Steel might be the best of them. And y'all gonna kill me for this, but I think the original version of Batman versus Superman is amazing. The extended cut, I just don't care for, and that's just me. I hate to say that, but I don't like all the dialogue back and forth for me in the movie. I think the stakes were high enough in that movie, but I don't. The actual Justice League, the Zack Snyder Justice League, I think is a 10 out of 20 or a 20 out of 10. I think it's, other than Infinity War, I think it's probably one of the most beautiful superhero movies that I've ever. And then of the heroes that he used, they're all like when we look at Justice League and who they represent in the cartoons and in comics, Zack Snyder was able to get that off in that movie, and I appreciated that a lot. And I also appreciated that not only did he give Cyborg and Flash shine in that movie because of the other movies where they didn't get as much shine. I thought that was just smart. And I think you won't hear me say really anything bad about the Snyder cut of the Justice League. I think it's one for the ages. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's like, if you want to know who those heroes are and what they mean and how they are supposed to make you feel, that movie represents them big time. Especially with Superman and wearing the black suit, and it's just poetic and graceful at the same time, mighty. And I just feel like sometimes with superhero movies that lacks, and I think that specifically with that group of characters, Zach was able to get that off. And then their slow-mo, I think, of all of them together, I think their slow-mo was probably the best one. I think it's, the Avengers Endgame shot is amazing, but I like their slow-mo as a group and as a, what it represents, Gray hair, red bandana, floating spider web chair. I mean, so Again, you all let me know down in the comments. What do you think Sony should do? Give me your opinion. What do you think Sony should do with the remaining time or whatever that they're gonna do with their universe? What do you all think? All right, so now we're gonna get over to this Michael Jackson biopic. Oh Lord. If y'all don't know, I'm one of the biggest Michael Jackson fans that I know, and I mean it. I'm one of the biggest. It's not much I don't know about the man. Not much I haven't seen of the man. I grew up in the era when he was kind of fading out, but my dad hipped me to Michael Jackson. Grandparents hit me. Michael Jackson was also that level good for a good 20 years. You know, I was born in 89. When I heard Thriller in 89, it was just as good, if not just as hype as it was when it dropped in the 80s. But they're in 2025, they're doing a Michael Jackson biopic movie, which is going to be, I guess, about his life. And his nephew, I think his name is Jafar Jackson, is studied him and is playing his role and doing all this. And I think they started production or something on the movie sometime this past week or late last week. And then they got the little kid to play the guy, I forget, is a viral kid who can dance really, really, really well, to play the younger Michael. And there's been a lot of fans that are like, oh my God, I think it's going to be amazing. And this is my thing, y'all. Michael Jackson, to me, is something that should be left alone. I'm someone who was heartbroken when Michael passed, and I still miss Michael Jackson, because I think that more than his music, he was a humanitarian, and his music was able to translate the humanitarian stuff to everybody, because everybody was a fan of his music. Some people might not be a fan of him because of what they heard on the TV and what they said about him, but I'm gonna let y'all know, Michael Jackson was never convicted of none of that. Michael Jackson was also, well, I'm gonna leave that alone, but as we all know, Michael Jackson has passed. Okay. And after, his estate hasn't necessarily done the correct things with his stuff. A lot of his music that has came out when or post his death has been fake vocals and fake, AI stuff. And I found that out through watching a Teddy Riley interview, who was someone who was really, really close to Michael and worked with Michael. And they say a lot of the songs and stuff that they put out after he died is not him. And when I go back and listen to those songs, I remember them sounding very weird. And for people who listen to Michael for years, you can just know his voice. And a lot of those records just sound weird. Even the demos sound weird. So I thought that was interesting on how that his estate had been handling that. And as well, Hollywood killed Michael Jackson. When I grew up, he was on every tabloid. Your kids didn't want you, your parents didn't want you listening to Michael because of what he was doing, and the crotch grabbing and all that stuff. It was just a lot. And for me, I think that people are a little naive to think that the same thing that pressured him is going to tell the truth about it. This is the same Hollywood who puts, news interviews on where, Oprah, who I don't like at all, for the reason of Michael Jackson. She betrayed Michael Jackson after he died. Michael Jackson let her in to Neverland for one of the first times ever. If y'all were alive or old enough to remember that interview, that's one of the biggest interviews that ever happened. And she turned right around when he died and put all this stuff out about these other people saying that, oh, well, Michael did this and Michael did that, and the case coming back out and all this other stuff. They're just putting out false stuff. Won't leave him alone. He's already dead and gone. They trying to tarnish his name to the point where, you know, they're trying to literally erase him for the history books. And it definitely breaks my heart, because I think that he's the greatest to ever do it. I definitely, if you don't know Michael Jackson, you haven't looked up Michael Jackson, go look up Michael Jackson stuff on YouTube. Go look up people who encountered him. Michael Jackson was light years ahead of us. But I don't think that the movie that they're doing is gonna be any type of good. I feel like that it's gonna be, you know, just because you can get his nephew to study him and get the moves down, like, yeah, cool. We watch people dance like Michael Jackson all the time. But is the movie gonna tell the truth? Seriously. You know what I mean? And they you know, there's tons of people who's trying to come out and say, well, the director studied Michael after he died and knows that he was acquitted of all the stuff that they try to charge him with. So he's going into this with a different mind. I'm like, so? This is Hollywood. Look what they did to Stanley Kubrick. What up, Dave? The guy who, yeah, but see, this is my thing. His estate has full control of the biopic. I think with his family on board, this will do him justice. Joe Jackson is a nut house. The brothers, what have they done without Michael? I know what they've done because I'm a Michael Jackson fan. So you got to know I'm a fan. His brothers ain't done nothing without Michael since that victory tour, which Joe made them do. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're gonna fake his music and use fake vocals and do stuff like that, why would this biopic tell the truth? Just like the original biopic with Jason Weaver and Queen Ramonda and I forget the other guy's name who played Joe Jackson. But what was crazy out of that biopic was, damn, why come I can't think of her name, man? What's her name? Queen Ramonda from Wakanda Forever. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Damn it. Why come I can't think of her name? Y'all tell me what the name is. Damn, what's her name? They're gonna make me look it up. What is her name? Say your name, say your name. There you go. Hey, I love y'all. Y'all the best. Y'all the best in the whole world. Angela Bassett was in the original. Angela Bassett and her husband and Jason Weaver were the better actors out of the whole damn thing. Out of the whole thing. And that movie didn't even tell the whole thing either. To be honest. I just think that, again, I'm not saying that the movie is going to be trash juice. I'm saying that I think that fans are being naive if you think that the same Hollywood that was going to take him down is going to tell the truth about him in a movie. And I'm not saying they're going to get into all that stuff with him and kids and all that stuff. I'm talking about just telling the truth and giving a real story how Michael would have wanted it. I don't trust his family because his family don't have Michael's vision. Michael's vision was, I'm going to do 50 shows overseas, and he sold out all of them in 24 hours or 48 hours. And that was his idea. That wasn't Joe or Marlon or Tito or Brito or Hito, whoever all of the rest of them was. Janet, Latoya, Rebecca, whoever all the Jacksons, how many ever Jacksons they are. It wasn't their idea. You know, when Michael Jackson was doing This Is It, he was in there dancing. He looked ill, but he was in there, you know, I still got it, you know, this is me type stuff. So when Michael's not involved, that scares me. Everything that Michael has been involved in has been A1. Even like You Rock My World, and then of course early in the or late 90s when he did the Ghosts VH1 special, and you know, when Michael does it, it's something. You know, even This Is It wasn't something it wasn't like $1 billion box office movie, but for fans now, that's kind of the last Michael Jackson movie. And then look at Moonwalker, the movie, where he hired the villain or the guy from Home Alone to play the villain, and then to have the whole, you know, mob. Like, when Michael is involved in something, I trust it. And it's never failed when he's involved. But with him not there, and we're gonna do it for Michael, and you're gonna have, you know, all these choreographers that work with Mike and all this other stuff, and da. I guarantee you, there's just some phony baloney stuff going on. That's all. And I'm someone who, you know, I remember exactly where I was when Michael Jackson died. I remember exactly what happened. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I could just time travel and go right back to that. I don't want to, but it was insane. It's insane, bro. I miss Mike. Music sucks right now. I miss Mike. And Michael Jackson would have put something out by now, still at this age, because he could do it. And you know, Michael would have loved the age of the digital, you know, put music out and dropping a song and not an album, because Mike had songs. Can you imagine, like, look at the whole Thriller album, I think was put out as singles. Could you imagine if Thriller came out on streaming platforms, but like, you know how they do it now, people drop songs. If you drop song by song, Michael Jackson would have tore the charts up. Drake talked about, you know, I'm Drake and like, bruh. Michael Jackson he has like 2 or 3 unskippable albums. Unskippable. Like songs that you could just press play and let it go. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up? Hello from a Russian viewer. What's good? We have truths on certain things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just, like, everybody's like, oh my God, Michael Jackson biopic. This is going to be the one. And I'm like, Michael was alive when the Jason Weaver joint came out. You know? You said Michael wanted to be like Prince. I don't know about all that. I feel like Michael and Prince are two different sides of the same coin. What Prince was good at was just as good at as what Michael could do. Michael's vocals, the way he can write a song, the way he can build a song, the way he can, you know, make a song catchy is as the level as how good he was at that. It's how good Prince was at playing instruments and doing that. Like, Prince couldn't out-sing Michael. Michael has a better voice than Prince, but Prince makes, in a sense, I guess you would say, not necessarily better music, but he's better all around musically. You know, Michael is a singer. He's not necessarily a musician. But yeah, I just wanted to say my 2 cents about that, because here lately I've been seeing a lot of Michael Jackson biopic stuff. It's coming out. It's coming. Jafar's posting pictures, and you know, they got dancers ready, and they got the young cat who's viral online who can dance really good. I forget his name, but he's really good at Michael Jackson dancing, which, you know, I guess is cool. But I wanted to be something that tells and represents who Michael is for history. I don't like after that movie. I don't know. That's probably it for Michael Jackson. Like, what else Michael Jackson is there gonna come of that? You're gonna do a press run. It's over. You see what I'm saying? So in 2025, when his movie come out and then it's over and gone, you know, and that's what we're gonna be left with to go if the next generation don't know who Michael Jackson is and wants to understand it. Do you think that this is what you want? That's what I'm saying from people who like, I'm a diehard MJ fan, bro. I mean, I really am, man. Like, is that what I want? You know what I mean? I want them to remember it like I remember it. I want them to remember it like my parents remembered it. My parents lived through it. If your parents were teenagers, or if you're old enough and was a teenager growing up through that era, you know that Thriller is the greatest selling album of all damn time. And it's off the back end of Off the Wall. Like, yeah, like Drake, I don't know why Drake be calling himself MJ. Bro, Michael Jackson could go to another country and hide from the United States. Do you understand what I just said? Michael Jackson could go to another country and hide from the United States. Drake can't do that. He from another country, but you can't go to another country and hide from Canada. Yeah, they just want the profit. You know, they don't. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I guarantee you 75% of people are surrounding that movie. Like the investor, the stockholders, all that shit. You think they good people? You think that they really here to really make sure that Michael Jackson's real legacy is intact for generations on? Because that's the thing, like, they thought killing Michael was gonna do it. But 10 years after he passed, kids still knew who he were, and he had been dead a whole decade. They still knew who he was. You see what I'm saying? It's nuts. All right, so okay, that's enough of the Michael Jackson stuff. Just had to get that out there. But now we're gonna talk some Dragon Ball Super. All right, so they just came out with the new manga chapter, and they're talking about, you know, Gohan Beast. Whis mentions, oh, he might have surpassed Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta's fighting Broly, you know. But this is my thing. Geeky Cast, my guy, has been going around saying that Beast Gohan is not stronger than Goku and Vegeta. And one of his reasons is because you can't sense Goku or Vegeta's ki when they transform into Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. What up, Super Job? And for me, as a Dragon Ball connoisseur that I am, not being able to sense ki and God forms is a benefit of the form. It doesn't make you stronger. Broly proved that. Just because Vegeta went Super Saiyan God, Broly still kept getting more powerful and was able to level up to that pressure without a transformation. That tells you right there that is a benefit of the form. So, just to give you that, just to put that facts there. And Gohan Beast is stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Now, I know a lot of Vegeta fans are upset, and to my knowledge, I was upset alongside the Vegeta fans when Mystic Gohan happened. I love Mystic Gohan, but Mystic Gohan was like one of the Kais unlocked his power, and then he was just this god. And Vegeta and then went out like punks. You know what I'm saying? And Gohan, I be telling people, his power is different than Goku and Vegeta's. Goku and Vegeta have a Saiyan rage about them that drives them, that powers them. And Gohan is half human. And it's also been stated by Toriyama himself that Gohan Beast is stronger than Goku and Vegeta currently. But this is currently. Okay? This doesn't mean forever. This is right now. Goku can do Ultra Instinct. Vegeta can do Ultra Ego. Gohan has Beast. And this Beast transformation is, in a sense, a version of a Super Saiyan, but it's like, I guess it's like a mystic Super Saiyan. So like when he goes to this mystic form, and then he goes the next level up from the mystic form, is like the, I guess, well, it's kind of, yeah, it's like the Super Saiyan 2, you know what I'm saying, of Mystic or whatever, if you want to put it that way or visually look at it like that. But Gohan is a different, he's half Saiyan, half blood, or half human, and they are completely different. Just like Trunks has his like Super Saiyan Rage, where it's like, you know, half Saiyan, and it has like this blue aura where it's kind of like God Ki or something, because he's half human. It's different. So Gohan, but also Trunks still uses the Super Saiyan Rage, or the rage that the Saiyans have. Gohan chooses to use more of his human side, and that's what allows him to have this mystic unlocking ability. And then the same thing that happened in Dragon Ball Super before the Tournament of Power, when he kind of got back to that level, that's what that was. And then when he surpassed it, you get Gohan Beast. Right now, Gohan, if Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was stronger than Goku and Vegeta then yes, Beast is stronger than Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego at the moment. It was stated that also that Goku and Vegeta in their current forms couldn't beat Cell Max. Gohan beat him. Also, they stated that the Gamma androids were just as strong as Goku and Vegeta. And the two androids, the Gammas, couldn't beat Cell Max. So Goku and Vegeta couldn't beat Cell Max. Gohan is stronger and beat them right now, though. And you know, who knows what, you know, what will happen. Is Beast a transformation now? You know what I'm saying? Because the way that they have treated these newer transformations with Dragon Ball as of late, like the last, you know, 4 or 5 years, Ultra Instinct since the Tournament of Power has been kind of, in the manga, you've seen it, but when it comes to actual live action, you don't see it. We've never seen live action or anime action Ultra Ego. We've seen Super Saiyan Rage with Trunks. We've seen Beast Gohan. We've even seen what Piccolo does. So, you know, for me, I don't understand why it's a big deal. But the facts are the facts. Gohan is stronger right now when it comes to the Beast transformation. He's stronger right now. And I think that's okay. I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that's good for Dragon Ball. I think, you know, I don't know if Gohan could carry the franchise. Sounds like it's going to take Gohan to get the upper hand on Black Frieza. I'm going to tell you who's not going to beat Black Frieza. It's not going to be Gohan. It's probably going to be Goku. It has to be Goku. Like the Goku, or maybe Goku and Vegeta together. Or maybe all three of them together, which I think would be dope. But they said the Black Frieza is like right underneath the God of Destruction. So, and who knows, does Black Frieza have more transformations? You know, can he power a level up like he did on Namek? When Goku turned Super Saiyan, Frieza had another level where his arms got bulky and his tail, and you know, he was just big. You know what I'm saying? But I think Black Frieza was an awesome idea. Maybe not so much the space-time training thing, but I think Frieza getting on their level was dope. And I also think that Frieza has turned into like a character that not necessarily you need to keep, but you want to keep around. You know, I think keeping Frieza there and keeping him relevant as well is gonna mean something for Dragon Ball down the road. But do I ever think that the manga will get converted? I don't know. I know a lot of people always ask me that. I want the Moro arc converted. I want the Granola arc converted. And I would love to get, you know, maybe the manga to move into live action or something. But we're gonna have Dragon Ball Daima before we get any Dragon Ball Super stuff. We'll probably get another Dragon Ball movie before we get Dragon Ball Super anime back, if we do, and that's real talk. They're totally focused on something different right now. But yeah, so that's the Beast Gohan stuff that I wanted to talk about. So we're gonna talk about. I don't know if you all have watched Rebel Moon. The reaction is up on the channel, but I just wanted to tell y'all that Rebel Moon is amazing. If you have not seen it, you should go watch it, and then go watch our reaction, of course. But Rebel Moon is amazing. Zack Snyder, I was so happy for Zack Snyder to get something out there because he's one of the gods when it comes to directing. I love his vision, and he does slow-mo well. That movie, it aesthetically and visually looks flawless, y'all, and I mean flawless. You say it looks trash, well, you gotta watch it, bro. It was amazing. It does give me a way more serious Star Wars tone, but me saying that doesn't do it justice. Like, I almost don't even want to tell people that it's related to Star Wars, because you can tell, like, every story is good versus evil, so I don't know why people have a problem with that. But as the way that it was directed and pitched in the movie and how it was screen written and stuff like that, I feel like Star Wars actually needs something like that, for real, where it's more deeper, way more serious tone, like way more serious, and visually it shits on Star Wars visually. But you all let me know in the comments how y'all feel if about Zack Snyder and Rebel Moon and stuff like that. Also, there is a tie-in comic for the blood with the blood axes from the movie that I also just picked up, that I guess is like a prequel that leads up to them being in the movie. So there is like a surrounding universe to it that is going to be built up. From what I've heard, there could be a part 3, and as well there might be more, you know, comic stories or other shows. I know there's supposed to be like an animated movie as well, which I think would be dope. Now let's talk. Last on the list is the J.J. Abrams Black Superman. Now I'm gonna be real with y'all. People for some reason want this Black Superman movie, and I don't understand why, because we don't have a Superman yet. Yeah, old boy is casted, but his movie ain't out yet. We don't know if the movie's good. We don't know if we're gonna like him as our Superman. We don't know if he's gonna be what we want in a Superman. But I always tell people that, why do something like, why would I, like, if no one, like, okay, let's go back to the Sony stuff. If no one was using a Spider-Man at all, why would they pick Miles Morales to be the main one when you have the main Spidey to use? Do you see what I'm saying? And so now jumping back to this Black Superman, why would I do an Elseworlds Black Superman just because they want him to be black movie? For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to do, you know, I don't, and I cool, it's Elseworlds. I get it. It doesn't mean it's connected to anything that's going on. But I still think that it is very random when you haven't established a Superman. Superman is big and big like Spider-Man, Batman. You know, those are big superhero names, billion-dollar superhero names in box office anyway. Superman belongs up there, or close to $1 billion box office. And we don't have a Superman yet. So to not necessarily to confuse people, but what is the point? Is what I'm trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? The Joker 2 makes sense. Matt Reeves' Batman makes sense. Why not tell the story of another character, or you know, why like, or if you know what's like, is Supergirl's not going to be in James Gunn's universe, which I think she is now. But earlier, we didn't hear anything about Supergirl. I would expect a Supergirl Elseworlds movie or something like that. Or there's just other characters that you could do. Then to just stick with just because you want him to be black. That's the thing. And it's going to be like a Wakanda Forever, you know, rip off. If you asking me. I don't see the need. Where is the need in this? And you know, what audience is gonna watch this? You know, the people who are going to watch the Sonyverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, the movie itself needs, if it's gonna happen, which I think it's in development, it needs to be as good as what the Joker had to offer, and Matt Reeves. Because then you have Superman again, and not only Superman, the black one, being the worst of its group. All over again. What's the point? Superman is elite. Superman should be at the top again with Batman and with Spider-Man. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man should be the top three. It should be it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. Is that yeah, it's PS5. I don't know why J.J. Abrams is so gung-ho. And this movie's been rumored for years, y'all. That's what kills me. That's not a good sign either. When they've been trying to do movies for years and then you find that idea is long gone. He can't let it go. That idea long gone. And I'm going to be real with you. It would have made more sense in the Spiderverse to do something like, because they were doing that with Suicide. Like, Suicide Squad never ran into the Justice League. Peacemaker did, but that was like fake. But Peacemaker just spoke about it. You see what I'm saying? You were better off doing something like that in that universe. This Elseworld stuff, I feel like needs to be high quality. This Black Superman movie will not be high quality. It will not. Especially, you know, and I know that it will not be a part of James Gunn's universe, but James Gunn is overseeing stuff and stuff like that over there, bro. I'm telling you right now, he gonna look into it. He gonna have a piece of that pie. He gonna have a piece of, you know, something to put into it. You know, I just think it's a waste. You know, if you're excited for a J.J. Abrams Black Superman movie, y'all let me know. Let me know in the comments. Give me a 1 for yes. Give me a 2 for no. Let's see what happens. 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. In his dream. An icon movie. You said 3. What's up, Ghost? He said 3. I mean, bro, if it was needed, I try to stay away from movies like that, bro, because Wakanda Forever made a lot of money. Both Black Panther movies made a lot of money. And I miss Chadwick Boseman. I miss Black Panther a lot. And it just seems like You like, okay, cool. Like, if it was important to you, then why not emphasize a black character in the continuity that people could be fans of, right? Instead, you do it in its own universe, and out of the universe that it's in, it's gonna be the worst. It's not gonna be better than Pattinson, and it's not gonna be better than the Joker or the Joker 2. It's just not. I know that. The Black Superman idea ain't better than the Joker in movie and the Pattinson idea. You get what I'm saying? If we were laying these ideas on the table, Black Superman getting picked last. You get what I'm saying? So why stick it there to be last and just to try to make money for it being probably an African American studded cast, you know? You know, Ice Cube is... No, I'm joking. No, I remember they was talking about Michael B. Jordan being... I was like, bruh. Stop. Hire Jonathan Majors for Black Superman. I'll take it. Or, damn, what's his name? I can't remember, cat. I was just watching that. Damn. But, yeah. Yeah, and my man Dan said, too, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, and oh yeah, I want to talk about Echo. Who on here likes the show Echo? Who's on the stream that has watched Echo? Who enjoys Echo? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's see. We got one like. Who enjoys Echo? Leave a 1 for yes, I enjoy it. Leave a 2 for no, I don't. Okay, so everybody liked Echo. How do y'all feel about Echo being one of the Defenders? Like Luke Cage and Punisher and Daredevil. How y'all feel about that? Because I think that's where she's going to end up being, and I think that was a bridge into her being one of those, you know, street level, which I think is dope. You know, I feel like in a sense she's going to end up taking or be what Ronin was without all the killing. So you're going to have like Echo on the street. Underestimated. Yeah, I know that was I think that we need more of that. I think that Marvel is on the right path. But I've also heard a lot of crazy things going down, like the Young Avengers movie. They still want to do an Avengers movie. No She-Hulk season 2, which I hate that. And I've heard like rumors like Ryan Gosling being Richard Rider's Nova. I don't know how true that is. That's a rumor. Take that with a grain of salt. Or he was in talks to be that. You saw in the 12th one, the Beekeeper. The Beekeeper. I haven't been to the movies this year yet. I think that the first movie that we're going to end up going to is Madam Web. Because I'm still going to see Madam Web. I think Madam Web's a dope character. The outcome, I just already know it's not going to be, you know, so. But it still should be fun. And last year I went to the movies a lot. Dizzy, he's someone who goes to the movies a lot. I think we were supposed to go see Killers of the Flower Moon, and we just got too backed up with YouTube and Christmas and family, and we got sick there at the end of the year and stuff like that. So We might check it out. We just, I think, what is it? Willy, the Wonka movie should be happening on streaming or getting on streaming sometime soon. White Gold wants to take a look at that. And then, what's that movie? Night Swim that came out this past month. I think it's going to end up on streaming sometime soon. So you might see that. What else? But we got some movies coming up. We got, like I said, Toy Story 2, I think, is the movie up next. I can't remember, but I think it's Toy Story 2. No, it's actually Leave the World Behind. I don't know if y'all have seen that on Netflix. But it came out last year at the end of the year, and a lot of people were talking about it. It's got Mahershala Ali in it, Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, my man. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. So I think that's actually the next movie that's dropping on the channel. If y'all haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. It's awesome. It's gonna mess with you. And it was crazy because at the end we didn't know Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were executive producers, which makes the movie even more crazier if you can catch what's going on. And then I think it's Toy Story 2. Then I think it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And then Kong Skull Island, I think. It's hard to remember because we're ahead. We got ahead with a bunch of movies. But yeah, I think the Leave the World Behind is the movie that we're gonna do next. It should be dropping next on the channel. I think there's some excuse me. I got some Ash versus Evil Dead dropping tonight. And then I think maybe Leave the World Behind or Toy Story. I gotta look on YouTube. It's one of the two. I think one of those. And then let's see. I know we got some SpongeBob too. Me and White Gold did some SpongeBob. We got some SpongeBob on the way. I know a lot of people ask about White Gold. I guess I can talk about that on here. Me and White Gold live separately. And she can't be here all the time again because she has a whole entire life other than YouTube. You know, our daughter, her life, her mom, her family. I have, my son and my brothers and sisters and my family. And, I do YouTube and work, and she does YouTube and she works. So there's sometimes, we can't do everything at once, but we still need to keep content on the channel. So sometimes, if she can't be here, I'll do a movie that I haven't seen or continue stuff that we are doing or whatever the case may be. And then she comes right back in because that's when she's available to do so. But we try to keep content on the channel, every couple days, a few days and stuff like that. So just for people, I guess, who be asking and wondering, what I'm saying, all the equipment and stuff is at my place, what I'm saying, where we're at right now, or where I'm live streaming from right now. So I, can get up anytime and set up and react. So it's a lot more easier for me and convenient for me to do it and keep content and stuff on the channel. Plus, I'm more up to date with different stuff like that, MCU stuff, DC stuff, trailers, and something comes out, I'll hit up White Gold and say, hey, you want to react to this? And she'll be like, yeah. And if not, she can't make it, she'll be like, go ahead, I'll get it next time. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to address that for people who be asking. Some people are rude, and I don't appreciate that. For the people who are not rude, I do appreciate that. And I just wanted to give you some information and keep you up to date so you don't think like, I don't know, I'm just like overreacting over White goes back or whatever the case may be. No, you know, when she's here and she can be here, she reacts and she's here and we're doing it together. But if she can't, sometimes I keep the ball rolling, you dig? So I have fun talking with you guys today. Again, we talked about the Sony stuff, the MJ biopic, Beast Gohan, Echo, Rebel Moon, and J.J. Abrams' Black Superman. So you all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about what we talked to. And again, of course, more content, more reactions, and other stuff like that will be up on the channel. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Ash versus Evil Dead, I think episode 6 tonight. Ashy slashy. But I guess maybe I'll see y'all at the Ash versus Evil Dead premiere. Or if not, I'll catch y'all on the flip, all right? This is Stuart's Go Snoop YouTube channel, and I'm out.